Hello viewers, today we shall do lesson 6 of Footprints Without Feet, that is The Making of a Scientist, written by Robert W. Peterson. Now, summary of the lesson. A Bright's achievement at young age. A former Scout of the Year excited the scientific world with a new theory. This he did at the age of 22 years. It was on how cells work. Richard H. Ebright and his college roommate explained the theory in an article. It was titled Proceedings of the National Academy of Science. It was his first achievement, and it started with butterflies. Ebright as a child. Ebright was the only child of his parents who lived in Pennsylvania. Ebright wrote that there was nothing to do. He could not play football or baseball, but he could collect things. As a collector of things, Ebright started collecting butterflies in kindergarten. He also collected rocks, fossils, and coins. He also became a stargazer and an eager astronomer. His mother encouraged him. She took him on trips. She also bought him telescopes, microscopes, cameras, and other equipments. Ebright and his mother. Ebright sold his article at 15 to a scientific journal. It was like a home run scored in the game of baseball. Ebright's mother said that she was his friend until he started school. She would bring home friends for him. He was her whole life after her husband's death. Richard was in 3rd grade then. Ebright's collection. Ebright's mother would find work for Richard if he had nothing to do. It was for learning. He wanted to learn. He earned top grades in school. When he was in 2nd grade, he had collected 25 species of butterflies. These were found around his hometown. Ebright gets a book. Then Ebright's mother gave him a children's book. It was The Travels of Monarch X. It told how monarch butterflies migrate to Central America. This opened the world of science to Ebright. Tagging of butterflies. At the end of the book, readers were invited to help study butterfly migrations. They were asked to tag butterflies for research. It was being done by Dr. Frederick Urquhart of Toronto University, Canada. Ebright started tagging monarch butterflies. Anyone who found a tagged butterfly was asked to send the tag to the same doctor. Ebright rears butterflies. The butterfly collecting season around Reading lasts 6 weeks in late summer. Chasing them one by one won't enable one to catch many. So, Ebright raised a flock of butterflies. He would catch a female monarch and take her eggs. He would raise them in his basement from egg to adult butterfly. Then, he would tag the butterfly's wings and let them go. Loses interest. Soon Ebright began to lose interest in tagging butterflies. The reason was that there was no feedback. Only 2 butterflies had been caught. Their distance was not more than 75 miles from where he lived. Decides to do real experiments. In 7th grade, Ebright got a hint of what real science is. He entered a country science fair and lost. His entries were slides of frog tissues. He realized that the winners had tried to do real experiments. So, he decided to do a real experiment. The subject was the insect work that he had already been doing. His research wins. For his 8th grade project, Ebright tried to find the cause of a viral disease. It killed all monarch caterpillars. He thought the disease might be carried by a beetle. He tried raising caterpillars in the presence of beetles, but he didn't get any real results. But he showed his experiment and won. His theory on butterflies. The next year, his science fair project was testing the theory. The theory was that viceroy butterflies copy monarchs. The theory was that viceroys look like monarchs because monarchs don't taste good to birds. Viceroys taste good to birds, so the more they look like monarchs, the less likely they are to become a bird's food. His project was to see if birds would eat monarchs. Project wins. He found that a starling would not eat ordinary bird food. It would eat all the monarchs it would get. This project was placed first in the zoology division. It came third overall in the country science fair. New theory. In his second year in high school, Ebright began the research. It led to his discovery of an unknown insect hormone. Indirectly, it led to his new theory on the life of cells. About gold spots on butterflies. The question he tried to answer was simple. What is the purpose of the 12 tiny gold spots on a monarch pupa? Everyone assumed the spots were just ornamental, but Dr. Frederick didn't believe it. About hormone. To find the answer, Ebright and another student built a device. It showed that the spots were producing a hormone. It was necessary for the butterfly's full development. This project won Ebright first place in the country fair. It also won an entry into the International Science and Engineering Fair. There he won third place for zoology. He got a chance to work in Walter Reed Army Institute of Research. Continues advanced experiments. As a high school junior, he continued his advanced experiments on the monarch pupa. That year, his project won first place at the International Science Fair. Importance of cells. In his senior year, he grew cells from a monarch's wing in a culture. He showed that the cells would divide and develop into normal butterfly wing scales. This would be only if they were fed the hormone from the gold spots. That project won first place for zoology at the International Fair. He also worked at the Army lab and at the US Department of Agriculture's lab. Identifies the hormone. The following summer, Ebright went back to the Department of Agriculture's lab. There, he worked on the hormone theory. Finally, he was able to identify the hormone's chemical structure. About DNA. A year and a half later, Ebright got the idea for his new theory about cell life. He did so while seeing the X-ray photos of this chemical structure. The photos gave him the answer to one of the biology's puzzles. It was how the cell can read the blueprint of its DNA. DNA is the substance in the nucleus of a cell that controls heredity. It is the blueprint for life. Paper about the experiment. Ebright and his college roommate James R. Wong drew pictures and constructed plastic models. They made them to show how it could happen. Together they later wrote the paper explaining the theory. Testing the theory. Surprisingly, Richard Ebright graduated from Harvard with highest honors. He also became a graduate student, researcher at Harvard Medical School. There, he began experimenting to test his theory. Advantages of the theory. If the theory proves correct, it will be a big step towards understanding life processes. It might also lead to new ideas. These would be new for preventing types of cancer and other diseases. Ebright's other interests. Ebright has other interests also. He became a champion debater and public speaker. He also became a good canoeist and all-round outdoors person. He is also an expert photographer of nature and scientific exhibits. Ebright and his teacher. Ebright also found someone to admire. He was Richard A. Wehrer, his social studies teacher. Ebright said about him that he opened his mind to new ideas. He also spoke highly of Ebright about his interests. He won because he wanted to do the best job. Things which make a scientist. These things are a necessity in the making of a scientist. Start with a first-rate mind. Add curiosity and mix in the will to win for the right reasons. And Ebright had these qualities.